this stuff I picked up at a couple of thrift stores here and there over the last couple of weeks. It's nothing spectacular. I think this one game I actually got at the pawn shop. Okay. When I went in, they had some PlayStation games at the family store. I was kind of surprised. These really aren't usually my bag, but I decided to go and pick them up because they were like $1.99 and they were complete. Let me see, getting them in order. First one's called Armored Core. Looks like you're in some kind of robot. You're controlling of some kind. Complete. Doesn't really say. How does your best AC creation stack up? Find out when you challenge 49 of the deadliest ravens around. I don't know what ravens are, but it was $1.99 and it looked like robots. So I was like, alright. The second one is called Omega Boost. It kind of looks like robots as well. Coexistence between man and machine is no longer an option. But the fate of mankind is hanging by a fiber. Time is running out. Omega Boost. Complete. Discs are in pretty great shape, actually. And now these two are the ones that I'm really not, usually would probably pass on, but, you know, when it's dry, you start buying stuff and you're like, oh, they're cheap, and hey, I haven't found anything in a long time. Well, you want this bag? Drive me crazy. This one's not that bad. This is one I definitely probably wouldn't normally pick up. It's called Special Ops Covert Assault. Not really my thing. Looks like they have one called Ranger Elite as well. Not really my type of game, but you know, it wasn't that much. $2. And this final one, I have played a little bit of this series over the years. I might even play this game, but I never owned it. It's called Army Men 3D Real Combat Plastic Men. This is actually made by 3DO. It's complete. Those are the 4 PlayStation games that I was able to find. And they all look in good shape, so I was kind of happy with that. And then I saw this. I was kind of surprised to see this there. I don't normally go in for sports games, but if I was to play a sports game or a football game, this series has always been my favorite. I kind of quit playing any kind of sports games after the PlayStation 1. But this is actually a Jenny game. I hadn't seen a Jenny game in box and complete in a while, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. I picked up Tecmo Super Bowl for the Genesis, and it is complete and it's in good shape. The cart is in quality condition. There's no peeling of the label. For some reason, it seemed like the Sega games had a problem with like the glue or whatever that they use on those labels would wear out quicker than other cart games. And then this one I think I got at the pawn shop. The case is looking pretty ratty, and this really isn't normally my type of game even, but I think it was one of those $2 games. So anyway, I went and picked it up. It's Dynasty Warriors 5, and it's complete for the Xbox, the regular Xbox. $2, like I said. Anything that's not this gen is like $2. This case is ate up. I didn't get a new case for that. So those are just some minery pickups, and then I had a vintage stock pickup, and then I had a package actually, and I'll explain the package after I do the 2 little pickups I got from vintage stock. Actually, not that little. They're 3DO games. I bought 2 3DO games. They still have 2 there that I would be interested in if the boxes weren't smashed and they wanted $10 a piece for them. And I'll explain what those are after I show you what I bought. But the first one I have here, this box was a little bit worked, but I kind of worked on it a little bit with some Elmer's glue and like a little brush on the inside, like I said, with some weight and stuff, and kind of popped it back out into some semblance of a shape. But that would be the game Seal of the Pharaoh in box. Now, I had a copy of this prior to buying this. And it looks like there's a price sticker on there from someplace called Zappers for $45.99 for this game. I had a copy of this game originally that Waspray had bought me when we did, I think it was a trade where I traded him like a PS2 and some stuff, and he went and kind of picked up some games at a local store that were 3DO games and sent them down. I think that's what we did. But his game that he sent me was missing the book, but it had not the controller. It was like this. It was missing the book, but it had the backer in the game. And then when I bought this, it had the game, but it was just in like a weird little sleeve, and then it had the instruction booklet in the box. So, actually, to put these two together, I have a complete copy in box of Seal of the Pharaoh. This was only $4. I did give this a play once. I don't think I ever did any gameplay on Seal of the Pharaoh. I probably could, but I've been real lazy with gameplays recently, so what are you going to do? But this was $4 for this one. Don't know how they determine what they want to price what as far as this stuff goes, but they decided this one was worth $4, so I was happy to get it though, and now I have a complete, and that's what I'm saying. Look, used but not abused. The corners are a little frayed, and you can tell it's been open. The sides got a little bit of a crease. But overall, it's not horrible shape. It's not ripped. All the little corner flaps are on it. So this is good for old Sandamtod. The next one is one that I lied about. Not lied about, but I told you I wasn't going to buy it. And then I turned around and bought it anyway. It's because I actually looked at it, and it's not just a light gun type of thing. I don't even know if you actually use the light gun. So I kind of decided to go ahead and get it. They had 2 copies of this up there at one time, but I went ahead and got it when they only had one, so now they have none. And that is Demolition Man. I had this game on the Super Nintendo, and it's just like a side-scroller type of thing, but this is more in-depth, I think. This one has the directions down here, and then the disc. This box is in great shape. It's pretty stiff. I don't want to fold it open too wide because it's actually in good shape. So this one I think was $15, but I had checked online and had seen it for as much as I think $27 complete, and it was getting harder and harder for me to find one that was going to be complete, that was going to be less than like $25. And when I saw it for $15 up there, I was like, all right. So I went and picked it up. The 2 other 3DO games that they have up there, and they're sealed, so I'm not sure if they have the directions in them or how complete the cases or whatever are. But they have Panzer General, and they have some Let's Play FIFA soccer or something. I don't know. They had a few of these Let's Play somethings. There was like a Let's Play baseball and a Let's Play soccer and stuff, but they want $10 for both of them, and the box is crushed on both sides. And I'm like, even for the Panzer General, I was like, $10. I was like, if it was like $6.99, I would even consider it, but not for $10. I was just like, no. And then finally, we ordered something from a website that I've talked about before called estarland.com, spelled estarland.com. They basically have video games for every system. I mean, pretty much. I mean, I know they have TurboGrafx stuff, they have 3DO stuff, they have, I'm pretty sure they have CDI stuff, but they have Sega CD, 32X, you know, Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, you know, Dreamcast, and then every system. I mean, pretty much. The only thing I don't know is if they have Neo Geo stuff. I think they do, though. I've never looked for Neo Geo stuff because I don't have a Neo Geo. Same thing with CDI. But I go on there and I look at their Sega CD stuff and their 3DO stuff a lot. And I was looking through the 3DO stuff, actually, trying to find, you know, something that might pique my interest. And I decided to look at the Sega CD stuff. I hadn't looked there in a while. And every once in a while I look there because there might be a game I forgot about or whatever, and I want to see if they even have it. Sometimes it'll say check for availability or something. And if you have an account, you can just tell it to notify you when a copy becomes available. And that's kind of what happened with one of these two things that I bought from there. I have some things that are on there that say notify me when it shows up. And this one showed up. When I'm finally showed up, I had this bookmark for like a year or more. And finally it showed up. And so I checked, and they had one in stock. It said it was complete and everything. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. You know, it was only $9.99. And it's an accessory. And I'm going to go ahead and explain it. Basically, it's a controller for the 3DO, and I thought this was going to solve all my problems. Let me just go ahead and show it. It is a third-party controller. It's called a Gamepad 6 for the 3DO, but it's a 6-button on the front controller for the 3DO. And I thought this was going to solve all my problems for Street Fighter and all the other games. It solves it for like Samurai Showdown and some of the other fighting games, but for Street Fighter we got a problem. For some reason on this controller they decided to designate this middle top button as the X button, which the X button also is like the start button. So it won't let you choose it as the medium punch on the fighting game. So for some reason the X button, it's X here and here, and then the P button is here, which is basically just like a pause button or another button. I don't really know. It's very kind of annoying, in my opinion, because it will only let you change it to that P button. That's the only other button you can change it to. There's no shoulder buttons on this. And I guess it does have turbo. But I didn't use the turbo for anything. Let me show you the other two models of it I have, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is your basic Panasonic model. The Gold Star model is not much different than this. I have a Panasonic FZ10 in the box, and then I have my Gold Star. I do not have an FZ1. But see, it is just a 3-button controller. P and X are here, and then A, B, C, and then it has 2 shoulder buttons left and right. And this is your... So it looks more like this. But that's only 3-button controller, and you're missing one of the buttons. You'd have to use the 2 shoulders and one of the middle buttons to even do fighting. So over time I was able to find one of these, and I think Mitch once again bailed me out and found one of these 6-button Capcom controllers. I hate this controller design, not the fact that the controller is correct as far as the buttons go. This is X and P up here, but this one actually has A, B, C, L, P, and R. And this one has A, B, C, L, X, and R. So, this controller, I just cannot get used to this weird tilted, this slanted forward and this straight. I feel like I gotta like hold it almost like this, which makes down left, and it's just not comfortable for me at all. I don't know if this is comfortable for some people. It's not for me. But I have two of these. So my only option here, really, and I haven't attempted it yet, but I thought I might, is to pop the back off of this gamepad and see how this X button is wired, and see if I can't figure out a way to wire it to the P button versus the X button here in the center, and then it would be P even though it says X, and then it would work. So if it's too complicated, I won't screw with it, but I thought I might pop the back off of it and look. I keep putting that off though. Okay. So that was why I even went there in the first place, other than just digging around and looking through the 3DO stuff, and I was like, well, I'll look at the Sega CD stuff, because I keep hoping that they'll have a copy of Sewer Shark in the black box, the original black box, complete, that I could pick up. It doesn't even have to be complete, because I think I have the instruction booklet. It just has to have the box. And I don't want to pay a shit ton for it either. But, you know, there's some 3DO games. I think there's like 174 3DO games released for the console. And I have probably a good half dozen or so that I don't have in box. But most of them are in box. I think I'm missing the directions for maybe 2 or 3 of them at the most. But I've got, I think, over right around 40 in-box 3DO games over here, if you can believe it. One of these days I'll dig them out and do a proper showing. But I was flipping through, you know, the Sega CD games. There's still some that I want that I don't have in the Tower of Sega back there. You know, I still want Lunar 2, I don't have, and it's kind of rare. Popful Mail would be cool. It's a little bit expensive. Wirehead I want. Trying to think. I'd like to get a copy of the Slam City and the Night Trap for the 32X, because I do have a 32X, and I have Fahrenheit, and I have Corpse Killer. And I'd like to get Supreme Warrior, actually. I think I'd like to get all 3 of those 32X games. That's the main reason why I bought it. And it was in box, but it was drawn on by like a little kid with a blue marker, but hey, still in box. Okay, we're dragging this out. So I was flipping through, looking, not coming across the ones I want. I was tagging some, you know, notify me if this comes out, notify me if Time Gal shows up in the box, notify. It doesn't tell you if it's in the box when it notifies you either. It just notifies you that something came in. And I ran across this, and I was like, hey, this is different. This game is one of the cult classics of the system. I had bought a copy a long time back. Actually, it was loose disc, no instructions or anything, but both discs, and then another disc for a game called Wolfchild. And I bought all 3 of them together on like a buy it now on eBay for like $12 or $13, and that was the cheapest I had seen the game, period, for a while. I mean, for a while it was going for like $40-50, you know, maybe even up to $80 sometimes. And it's really dropped off in price now. I think if I want to get it on the 3DO, it's still going to run me about $50-60, and I haven't seen a copy on the 3DO in a while. They had one on East Starland, and I put it off. And I was like, nobody's going to buy that, you know, and somebody did buy it. So I was like, well, you know, shame on me. But I was kind of impressed. This kind of hit me because it said it was complete. And I was like, well, that's cool, because it would have the directions and it would have, you know, the box. And but the problem is when it says complete on their site, it doesn't necessarily tell you what condition it's in. Complete just means that it's all there. And this box was a little bit more beat up than I wanted it to be, but it wasn't horrible. It was shrink wrapped, and they did package it really well when they shipped it. So I know none of the damage on it was from shipping. But I went ahead and picked this up. I think it was $24 on this website. Usually if you order $25 or more and you don't want like express shipping or anything, they'll ship it to you for free. So anyway, without further ado, I picked up a box copy. Finally, this is one of the ones I was looking for, even though the box is a little beat up. Used but not abused. It does have all the flaps and stuff of Night Trap in the box for the Sega CD. Like I said, the box is a little worn. Not too bad. This whiteness along this edge is what I kind of noticed. I was like, that kind of stinks, but it is kind of white on both edges a little bit, but that just means the box has been opened and shut quite a bit. And it had kind of a crease here where it looked like maybe it had gotten squished, but I Elmer glue tricked it, and it popped back into shape. So this is what they called the unrated version, but then they put some kind of sticker right here that says MA17, so we're just going to leave that sticker on there, even though this was called the unrated version. That's not the end to open up there, Adam. Let's see here. Okay. Had the instruction book. They're selling a copy of this at Vintage Stock right now without the box, but it does have the instruction book in the game for $20. So, you know, I wouldn't buy it without the box. That's just me. But and the card, the punch card, is still in the inner sleeve and everything. Looks good. And then here's the game. Disc 1, Disc 2. I think it folds open like this. And here was my original copy. This is the one I picked up a while back. I made the cover art for this. So it's not bad, but it didn't look too bad on the shelf, but still I was still just wanting to get the original copy. So I guess I have an extra copy of Night Trap for the Sega CD, sort of. I don't know if anybody's looking for one, but I'm not really wanting to do trades or anything. I mean, I would if somebody was really looking for a copy. That copy, the one I just showed. I do have it for the 3DO, but I don't have a boxed copy. It's just the discs, no directions or anything. So, anyway, that's kind of my pickups over the last few weeks, really. I haven't gotten a whole lot, and like I said, I am leaning toward getting a PlayStation 3, so I need to figure out what one to get. And I'm going to sign off. I'm going to let y'all go. Thanks for coming by and watching a little pickups video. I was happy to finally get a copy of Night Trap, even though it's not in the mint condition. It's in a condition that I would consider. I would buy this if I was out in public and saw it. If the whole back cover had a big rip on it or something like that, or it was missing the corner flaps or something, I might pass. But in this condition, it's good. So I'm not sure if you ask eStarland, they might give you some send some pictures or something. I don't know. I bought from them like four times, I think. I know I bought a copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo from them for the 3DO. And I'm trying to think of what else I bought from them. I'm not sure, but I know I've bought from them 4 times because you get like a little star rating or something every time you buy from them. And I have 4 stars on there. So anyway, signing off. See you next video. And I don't know what that next video will be, whether it'll be probably be a community question or response video, because that's what I've been doing recently. So signing off. Thanks for coming by and checking it out, and we'll see you next vid. Bye.